everybody, and welcome to Kara's Book Talk. Today, I'm going to be reviewing The 100 Lies of Lizzie Lovett by Chelsea Sidoti. And just look at the cover of this, guys. I mean, beautiful. What does it look like without the book jacket on? I think, yeah, it's just white. Just white. And then this is the, hopefully you can see that. Anyways, kind of been obsessed with like what the book looks like under the book jacket. So, what do you feel like? Do you like looking at books without the book jacket? I don't know. I used to never look at books under the book jacket. I was just like, oh, look how pretty. There's a lot of stuff under the book jacket. Okay. Okay. Anyways, enough rant about that. Starting off, I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. There were some aspects I really loved and some aspects I really did not like. I probably would have given this probably closer to 3 to 4 stars, honestly. Yeah, I don't know if I would ever reread this book either. It's kind of a one-shot for me. So let's get started. The main character we follow in this book is called Hawthorne, and she is so intriguing. Like, I loved her as a main character. I'm not gonna lie. At the very beginning, she initially drew me in. She was so alive, so witty, so sarcastic. I loved it. I can't remember exactly how old she is. I think she's 16 or 17 in the book, and she's in high school. She has an older brother that is older by her than 3 years, and she uh, what else? What else is there? She she just so believes in magic and mystical things, and I loved that. I loved that aspect of her. I thought that was so intriguing because I feel like a lot of your main characters, like this is set in the real world, and when it's set in the real world, I feel like not a lot of people believe in magic and werewolves, fairies, vampires, that kind of stuff. Literally, in like the first 5 pages, she talks about how her brother could be a zombie. Like, it was amazing. I loved that part of her. That she believes in this magic, that there could be these mystical, magical beings out there. And, like, I just loved that aspect of her. So yeah, at the very beginning of this book really drew me in, really intrigued me. I loved Hawthorne. Um, yeah, so then you find out pretty fast that this girl, Lizzie Lovett, name of the title, The 100 Lies of Lizzie Lovett, she has disappeared and nobody knows where she's gone. It's a kind of a small town, so it's pretty big news. The mom's on the news all the time talking about her little girl. Hawthorne was 3 years younger than Lizzie Lovett, and Lizzie is the same age as her brother. So Lizzie and her brother went to school in the same age group, and Hawthorne also went to high school with them, just 3 years younger. So that's kind of how Lizzie and Hawthorne are connected. And Hawthorne just kind of becomes obsessed with Lizzie Lovett's disappearance. Um, she just becomes so intrigued by the disappearance and she wants to solve the mystery of what happened to Lizzie. It gets to the point that she believes that Lizzie has become a werewolf and disappeared into the night. Like, I love it. She starts reading books about werewolves, and I just love that. Like, I love that main character when they love to read, and they read in the books. It's my favorite part. I love when a main character loves to read, because I can relate to that. I love to read, and getting through high school and getting through your shitty life, that really, really helps people. Yeah, so she becomes involved in the plot of Lizzie Lovett's disappearance. she becomes obsessed with what Lizzie was doing when she was alive. So she goes to where Lizzie worked at this restaurant, gets a job there. She meets Lizzie Lovett's boyfriend and starts talking to him, and they kind of like go to the woods where Lizzie Lovett disappeared and search for her. Together, they kind of end up having a relationship, which I was not okay with. We'll get into that later, but yeah, so that's kind of the premise of the book. Is just Hawthorne trying to solve the mystery of what happened to Lizzie Lovett and kind of going on what's going on in her life at the same time that this whole disappearance is happening. Um, so yeah, it was very interesting, very sad in places, very hilarious in others. I loved the sibling relationship between her and her brother. If you have a sibling, you know what I'm talking about, okay? Because siblings are cray cray. Just putting it out there. So yeah, I loved that sibling relationship. There are so many good quotes in this book. I really liked it. Um, so yeah, so kind of to get into a little bit more, if you want spoiler free, that's where I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna get into it a little bit more. Yeah. So let's talk about the romance because that was my least favorite part of this book. I hated it. I hated the romance between her and the boyfriend of Enzo. Or the boyfriend Enzo of Lizzie Lovett. His name's Enzo. I hated it. There's a really big age difference between them. I think it was like 7 years or something. I hated it. I felt like the whole relationship was super manipulative. Every time they had some sort of like physical step in their relationship, it was because they were fighting, and it felt more like it was a way to shut the fighting up, and they never really resolved anything. I hate that. I hate that aspect of manipulation in a relationship. I liked that it was portrayed so well in the book, and I liked that people like it was a way to show that, but at the same time, like she never really came to the conclusion that that could be an abusive relationship. She came to just the conclusion that her and Enzo weren't good for each other, like, and not because of the abusive relationship. It was because like other stuff that was going on. Like, I feel like she might have almost stayed with him. And I did not like that. Like, that's a shitty relationship. You don't want that relationship where you don't ever talk to them and resolve anything. And I hate when people try to romanticize that type of relationship. That's not an okay relationship. Um, so yeah, I really, really did not like that aspect of this book whatsoever. It's really hard to read in places, and spoiler alert, they have sex. And I felt again like it was a manipulative thing. Like they were fighting really bad, and then bam, like she literally in the book is like we were fighting, and then he kissed me, and then that led to sex. How is that okay? How? Like that's not a good relationship when you just start fighting and your initial reaction is to kiss. Like you're not resolving anything, you're not getting anything fixed, you're just stopping the fight because of like sexual tension. How is that an okay thing to do? And I know a lot of people feel like it is okay to do that, and that's why I have a problem with it because to me, that's not okay. That's not an okay way to portray a good relationship, or to never have the main character like come to the realization that it's unhealthy to have that relationship. I feel like if you want to try and like show young people that are gonna be in relationships like this, like you need to show that okay, I want to portray an abusive relationship and now I want to resolve it by them coming to the conclusion that it's an abusive relationship. Like have that I don't know. I hated that. What did you guys feel? Did you feel like the relationship was all right? Did you feel like it was not abusive? Maybe I'm just taking it to the next step and like overthinking this way too much. But in my personal opinion, I did not like it. There we are. That's where I'm stopping with that because I could literally rant about that whole thing for like days. Um, let's move on to something I loved. Let's talk about the hippies because they were beautiful. I love the hippies so much. They were so great. Like, I can't even put into words how much I love the hippies. Like, I feel like the hippies helped her so much coming to realizations about life in general, like relationships, and not just with her and Enzo, but like with her and her friend she kind of gets into a fight with. And I kind of feel like they kind of help her with that. I feel like they help her with her family relationships. I feel like they help her just like giving her life advice. And they're super chill. It's not even like giving her a lecture, it's just talking to her about it. They're like, here, let's paint a picture. And then she's like, I'm shit at drawing. And they're like, that's cool, man. Just paint whatever you feel. Paint how you feel inside. If you can't paint, then sing a song or do a dance. Like, do whatever is you, man. It's cool. It's chill. And I loved that. Like, I loved the hippies so, so much. I love them. And I was so sad when they left. So sad. Yes. So hippies. Great. Great characters. Um, let's see. I feel like the author did a good job, like I said, of portraying abusive relationships, portraying relationships in general, not like I said, not just with the boyfriend, but also with friendship, with family, with strangers. I thought she did a good job of like connecting these characters through Hawthorne and showing how it really can be in real life. So I did really like that. I enjoyed that aspect of the book. Um, yeah, it it was definitely a really good read. I enjoyed it, but now that I know where the story goes, like I said, I don't know if I would read it again. But what do you think? Did you like how the story ended? I'm not going to get into it here, so not too terribly spoilery. Um, did you like how the story ended? Did you like how the relationship went? Did you love the hippies like I did? Because they were great. Yeah. How do you feel about the bully in school that, like, all the popular kids that made fun of Hawthorne? Because I found that to be very interesting. I liked that aspect of it too. I thought it was a good portrayal of what people go through in high school. It's not all rainbows and unicorns, people. It's crap. And I thought the author did a good job of portraying that. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I laughed a lot. I laughed out loud a lot in this book. I also cried. Very, very good portrayal, in my opinion. Yeah, so let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video if you did, and please subscribe. Thanks so much, and have a good day. Bye!